And the movie begins on day 89 in a post-apocalyptic world where humans are nearly exterminated by bloodthirsty humanoid monsters that have no name, but are unofficially called angels of death because they appeared after a long meteor shower, as stated in newspaper clippings. These monsters are completely blind but possess keen hearing, which allows them to quickly catch up and kill their prey when they hear it. The farming couple Evelyn and Lee Abbott are trying their best to survive in a new environment where no sounds can be made. They walk barefoot, step only on non-squeaky floorboards at home, and mostly use sign language to communicate with each other. His daughter Regan is deaf from birth. They communicate in sign language, sons Marcus and Bo. The ability to communicate in sign language apparently helped them survive while all their neighbors died. It's not always easy for children to understand the importance of staying quiet. One day, during a camping trip to a dilapidated town where the family is stocking up on food and necessities, Bo wants to take along a toy shuttle that can make noise if batteries are inserted. Ben's father forbids him to take the toy, which can make loud noises, but then Regan gives it to Bo, and he discreetly inserts into it the batteries removed earlier and left unattended by his father. The 2 adults and 3 children begin the long journey home. On the way home through the woods near a bridge, the toy in Bo's hands begins to make noises that attract a monster, which immediately kills and drags the boy away. A little over a year goes by. Evelyn is pregnant and soon to give birth. How will the child survive in this world? And most importantly, how will the mother endure the birth without making a sound? Regan still blames herself for her brother's death and believes her father is cold to her. He sets up a soundproof basement in the house where they can talk and where the monsters can't hear the baby's cries. In his basement, father records everything they know about the monsters, tries to communicate with the outside world using Morse code and shortwave radio, and repeatedly and unsuccessfully tries to fix his daughter's hearing aid, which is connected to a cochlear implant. He is also constantly improving the cochlear implant that is supposed to help Regan regain her hearing, but so far she can't hear anything. One day, Lee leaves with Marcus to go fishing, and Evelyn stays with Regan. Every member of the family feels guilty about her brother's death, but the girl feels everything in her own way. Despite their well-thought-out plans, Evelyn goes into labor 2 weeks early. Evelyn is doing laundry, and on her way home, she feels her water break and contractions begin. Going down to the basement, she steps on a nail and drops a picture frame. The sound of the impact attracts the monster, who climbs into the house. When the monster arrives, Evelyn goes into the bathroom. She tries to remain quiet despite the intense pain. He and Marcus go fishing, and the father shows his son that he shouldn't be afraid to talk when there are sources of louder sounds nearby, such as a waterfall. On the way back, they meet an old man whose wife has been killed by monsters. Out of desperation, the old man screams, which attracts the monster that kills him. This delays Lee and Marcus, who only return home in the dark, seeing that Evelyn has lit red lights outside the house, an alarm. He sends Marcus to set off fireworks to distract the monster and sneaks into the house himself. Just before the creature can sense that Evelyn is near, fireworks explode, distracting the creature. Lee then finds his wife hiding in the bathroom with their newborn baby. He takes them to the basement, putting their baby in a wooden box with an oxygen mask strapped to his face so he can breathe. Lee then swears to Evelyn that he will find the children, bring them back safe and sound. He rushes into their small control room, which has monitors to keep track of the camera setup around the entire farm. He tries to find the children. Seeing fireworks, Regan runs back to the house. Meanwhile, Marcus is chased by a monster as he runs through a cornfield where he eventually gives himself away by bumping into a tractor. On the way in the cornfield, Regan bumps into Marcus. However, there are monsters walking around, and the kids climb into a grain elevator where Lee usually lights a signal fire in hopes of attracting other survivors if there are any nearby. No other lights are seen. Marcus falls inside the tower and nearly drowns in the corn. Regan jumps in after him to save him. There is also a monster sneaking in. As the monster approaches, the sound in Regan's hearing aid is amplified so much that she can barely stand it. Suddenly, the monster runs away, eventually being rescued by Regan. He, meanwhile, goes off to look for the children. Evelyn, on the other hand, spends some time sleeping, but suddenly realizes that the basement is flooded with water from a pipe damaged by a monster, and one of the monsters is nearby in the basement. The monster runs away at the sounds from the grain elevator, and the woman struggles to get out of the basement. After getting out of the grain, out of the tower, the children run towards the house, meeting Lee on the way. The beast then returns to hunt Lee, Marcus, and Regan. It manages to catch up with them, prompting Lee to hide his children in a truck parked nearby. However, the monster hears Lee and strikes him with its claws. Marcus screams, worried about his father, and this shifts the creature's attention to the truck. Now, the monster is desperate to break into the vehicle and kill the children. Lee, seeing no other way to help the children, tells them he loves them and screams. Marcus pulls the steering wheel in the car. At the same time, they watch their father being killed by the creature. Evelyn also watches it happen through monitors on the wall. The truck rolls down the hill and stops right in front of the house. Evelyn runs to her children, hugging them, and mourns the loss of Lee. So the children make it home and hide in Lee's workshop with Evelyn and baby. Their reunion is interrupted when the monster returns, forcing them to hide in the control room with the baby. When the monster, hearing the baby's cries, enters there, Regan realizes that the monsters are negatively affected by the ultrasound amplified by her hearing aid. She brings her hearing aid to the microphone, and the monster, unable to bear the sound, falls down. But when the sound stops, gets up. To find the sources of the sound, the monster exposes its auditory organ on its head from the armor plates. Evelyn takes advantage of this and fires her shotgun directly into this organ, killing the monster. That, of course, provokes the arrival of more of these creatures on the farm, but this time they know how to stop them. Instead of hiding, Evelyn loads the shotgun and Regan prepares to turn her hearing aid back on. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe.